What's up, you guys? In today's video, I want to give you the 5 silent killers inside of your handmade or your woodworking business. Let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. As always, grateful for your time and your attention. If you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure that you do that because we're pumping out tons of content all around growing your woodworking or your handmade business, and it's gonna help you. I promise you it's gonna help you. With that being said, let's dive into today's video where we talk about the 5 silent killers inside of your woodworking or your handmade business. Some of these are practical, some of these are more mental things you need to think through, and the first one is really kind of challenging to understand. But number 1 is assuming that you're doing enough. Listen, you are not doing enough. No matter how much you're doing, there's always more that you could be doing, which is kind of a discouraging thought, to be honest. No matter how much we're doing, there's always more to be done in order to grow our businesses, in order to scale or strengthen our businesses. There's always more research to be done. There's always more learning to be done. There's always more products to be developing. There's always more marketing material to be launching. There's always more to be doing. Coming under the assumption that you're doing enough, that's the wrong assumption. Now, you might be doing a lot, right? You might be doing a whole lot. You might feel overwhelmed. You might be on the edge of burnout. That still doesn't mean that you're doing enough. What you need is you just need help. You need to do more, and you need to figure out how to get help. One of the biggest silent killers inside of your woodworking or your handmade business is that you believe that you're doing enough. And I promise you, if your business is not growing, if you're not making strides in some way, then it's actually dying. It's actually shrinking because you start getting complacent and the market's always adapting, always adjusting, and you will not survive. You will not last. Number 2, second silent killer inside of your woodworking or handmade business is this: not knowing your numbers. Guys, not knowing your finances, not understanding your numbers, not understanding what your costs look like, it will absolutely destroy your business. I promise. You know, they say that ignorance is bliss, and it is for a long time until your business has to shut down because you couldn't keep enough money on hand or enough cash in the bank. And so not knowing your numbers will absolutely destroy your business. Can't overstate that. And so if you need help with that, there are so many resources on just basic bookkeeping out there on YouTube that you can learn how to get a QuickBooks account. I actually have a link to get a QuickBooks account in the description below. You need to get QuickBooks. You need to start running and keeping track of your expenses and keeping track of your income. And that way you have a true and accurate representation of how much money are we spending, how much money are we making. Number 3 is investing in fancy tools too fast. I see this all the time as well, where instead of pouring money back into marketing, you choose to pour money into equipment. Okay, now let me just say this. I love fancy equipment. I think that every business needs some great equipment to get more efficient and produce faster. But if you're not overrun with sales, that's where all of your reinvestment needs to go back into. All of your reinvestment needs to go back into increasing your sales, getting your sales numbers up. Because if you can get your sales numbers up to where you're doing $30, $40, $50, $80, $100,000 a month, then you can start putting money back into equipment. That way you have less overhead as far as employees are concerned. The better equipment that you have, the less labor that it's going to require for you to get things done, whether that be bigger ovens or that be bigger sanders or whatever it is in your industry, your niche. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, outsourcing all of your revenue generating activities. I see this a lot, and I also even see this with some of my clients inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, where they outsource all of the revenue generating activities to me. Okay, I'm going to lean 100% wholly and entirely on Zach to bring me leads, and if that doesn't work, then I'm doomed. Okay, I advise my clients to not just lean on me for generating leads in sales and revenue inside their business. As much as I want them to do that, as much as I want to be beneficial, I want to help them, and I want to play a part in growing their business, I think it's foolish for any business to put all of their eggs into one basket, and especially if that is a basket that you don't own, especially if that's a basket that you don't have any control over. You should diversify your revenue generating activities as much as possible, okay? So you should have a stream here and a stream there and a stream here for generating revenue, as much as you possibly can. Number 5, the final silent killer inside of your handmade or woodworking business is not focusing enough on branding. Now, this is a mistake that I have made in the past, and so there's been several things that I've come across in the last several months that have really shifted my mind around this, but I've always been a marketing guy, okay, where it's like we spend money on ads, people respond to those ads, they purchase. Well, somebody that focuses more on branding is focusing more on more of an experience, sharing your story more, it not being so offer-driven. When I say offer-driven, it means that people aren't just buying it because it's a great offer, but they're buying it because of who you are, because of who your company is, what what you stand for. The challenge with focusing on branding is that you see less of a direct ROI. With paid advertising, for example, over the last 15 months, for every dollar that I've spent for Iron by Iron Woodworks in paid advertising, we've generated like $11.40. We've converted $1 into $11.40 on average over the last 15 months. That is a very clear direct ROI. It's not as clear when you create a video about who you are and you post that on your page, your YouTube channel, and you run that in some of your advertising. It's not as clear when you focus on creating a beautiful website. How does that directly affect your sales? It's hard to know. But if you don't focus on branding and you always just lean on paid advertising, the challenge with paid advertising is that paid advertising always only gets more expensive. Now, it may not get astronomically more expensive, but it's always going to cost more a year from now to acquire a customer than it does today, or 10 years from now, it's going to cost more to acquire a customer. So we have to be very intelligent about creating branding around our business that is going to support our paid advertising efforts as well. And so if you need help with any of these things, listen, I got 3 resources that are really going to help you below. Number 1, free ebook. You should check it out. Number 2, the Handmade Hero Academy. You can get into it for as little as $47. We've got a money back guarantee on that. We're going to help you with branding. We're going to help you with establishing a website, running paid ads. We're going to teach you how to do that yourself, okay? Listen, if you sell one table or one high ticket thing all year long as a result of what you learn inside of that program, it pays for itself, okay? And then lastly, if you're a woodworker trying to grow and scale your woodworking business, check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. And with that being said, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.